All right, hi dogs by nature, Rufio here, and today we're talking about addition by subtraction. Read into that as you will, but I am saying that it means that we saw a much better Cleveland Browns offense this past week, a much more cohesive Cleveland Browns offense this past week, a much more efficient Cleveland Browns offense this past week, and I believe that we saw that largely because our playbook was much more pared down, much more streamlined than it had been early on in the season. I'm going to give you an example of what I mean by that right now. By now, you're familiar with this play. This is Baker Mayfield's 28-yard touchdown pass to Rashard Higgins. Mayfield does a great job of avoiding some interior pressure here, rolling out to his right, delivering a strike. Higgins has beat his man, and we're in for a touchdown here. Why does this play work? We've seen a lot of play action. We've seen it all year. Every coach that has come through Cleveland, every offense, every quarterback, we have run play action, and it hasn't always worked this well. Why does this play work? This play works because under Hugh Jackson, we had built up a big tendency to run the ball whenever we put, especially Jarvis Landry, sometimes Rashard Higgins, into motion, tight, close to the formation against an 8-man front, against a +1 box. Here you can see the Steelers have dropped a safety into the box. They've only got a single high safety back here. And what we do under Hugh Jackson will be to motion our receiver in to the formation to go ahead and block that safety and try to even out the numbers game in the run. And I talked about this a little earlier in the season in an article I called Running Despite Darkness. Not running to daylight, but running despite darkness. And I called it that because when we bring this extra player in here and we let them live with this extra player in here, look at all these bodies near the line of scrimmage, in an area where they can really play the run. And especially when they know a run is coming, of course, we're going to get stuffed every time. It's just too easy for a defense when we telegraph, hey, we're running the ball. They can get off, they can get in their run fits, they can play aggressive and downhill and not have to worry about the threat of a pass. We've got another example here, again from week 1. We saw this throughout Hugh Jackson's entire year this year. Again, we motion a receiver tight to the formation, heavy tendency toward run. It ends up working here, but that's really beside the point. The point is that the defense can tell what's coming before the snap. So now we fast forward to Freddie Kitchens' first game as offensive coordinator. We're playing the Kansas City Chiefs, obviously with an explosive offense of their own. But we purposefully went out of our way to break that tendency. So here we have Jarvis motion, and whenever he would stop inside of the tight end, it was a dead giveaway. I don't think that we ever threw the ball from this look under Hugh Jackson this year. And so obviously as he comes in this motion, I am screaming at my TV, wondering why we're calling this run, wondering why we're being so predictable. And sure enough, Kitchens pulls a chair out and does not play up to expectations. He's using that tendency to run play action and to take a deep shot. This concept here, a 3-level stretch on the sideline, is a sail concept. Or a flood concept sometimes. This is a concept, especially off of play action, that Baker is very familiar with from his time in Oklahoma. That's another thing I think Kitchens is doing very well. I'll have more on that in a later post. Here, we don't quite connect. I do think we have Landry in the matchup we want for first down here on this sort of intermediate depth route. But Baker, sees this separation. He sees this slight hesitation by this cornerback who might be sinking in to play that intermediate route and knows Perriman can get behind him, and so he lets it go. I think Baker would like to have this throwback and maybe place it another 5 yards outside, give his receiver a chance despite the safety coming over. But I also thought the Chiefs got away with a little bit of contact here. You see this called a lot in the NFL. DB not really going for the ball, not really trying to find the ball, and he did make contact with our player. So, say what you will about that one. But I think that's a good shot to take, and the point here is that we're breaking the tendency that we established under Hugh Jackson. So now let's bring it full circle, bring it back to the Falcons game. And this is really why this fake works, right? Fakes don't work when they're not believable. Play action doesn't work when you haven't seen that play before and you're not going to bite on the fake. So on this play, the Falcons absolutely do bite on this fake. Obviously, I've shown the all-22, and we score there to Higgins. But I think the real place where you can see the bite on the fake is from the end zone angle. Here you can see again, Landry has outside leverage, and we know when we pull him across the formation, going that way, he's going to have a head start on his man. It also helps here that he's got his eyes in the backfield because he's waiting for a run. So on the snap of the ball, Jarvis does a great job of selling the fake, kind of going in to block the end. Maybe he's going to come up and block the linebacker. And look at all the separation that he creates with that fake that we create with this play action fake as well. So Jarvis has, a good 5 or 10 yards of separation there. I'd also like to point out the blocking pattern. This is a play we ran time and time again against the Falcons. Again, more on this in another post. But this is split zone. So the 5 down linemen are blocking zone to the camera right here, offensive left. And the tight end will come in across the formation behind and kick out the end man on the line. That's the way the running play is set up. We call that split zone. You can call that slice. Different people call it different things. But we ran that run a lot. So not only have we established this tendency to run when we motion this receiver, but this team has also seen all day Nick Chubb getting the ball when they see this tight end go across the grain, across the formation, and the line block all in one direction. So we set up with a great fake there. Now going back to the all-22, we can see Jarvis with that separation. He's coming across the formation. He's going to turn this deep. And then we have Higgins from this side who's going to push his man a little bit wide, get him to widen, and then break across the field in kind of a deep post. And what this does is it puts this free safety, this single high safety, in a bind. This high safety maybe is in good position to stop this post, but he sees this fake. He sees his man desperately trailing Landry here. And so he decides to jump that route knowing that Landry's wide open. And he basically can't be right. He's either going to leave Landry open on this side or he's going to leave the post open here. And that safety's always going to be wrong. Baker's got to make him wrong with a throw. He does. So that's what we drafted Baker #1 overall to do. Deliver the ball on time, on target. And that's a touchdown. And eventually that's a Cleveland Browns win. So, needless to say, I'm very encouraged by what I'm seeing on the field and in the film from our offense. I'm seeing plays that look like one another to begin the play. Only, one is a run, one is a play action fake. I'm seeing a lot of things that Baker had a lot of success with at Oklahoma. I'm very excited to see what Freddie Kitchens comes out with next week. And I hope it delivers another Cleveland Browns win. All right, everybody, thanks for tuning in. I'm Rufio. Make sure to visit dogsbynature.com. For all your Cleveland Browns news and analysis. I'll see y'all in the chow.